Hey friends, my name is Dr. Sam Fesich. I'm a professor at Grove City College where I work with future teachers each day in areas related to EdTech and special ed. I'm also the author of EduMagic, a guide for pre-service teachers, and the host of a podcast called EduMagic. Both are designed specifically for future educators. So if you're a future teacher, make sure you check those out. You can contact me on Twitter or Instagram and Boxer at sfesich is where I live. So please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. And I'm going to give you a rundown of a presentation that I did for an event that we had here on campus called Keep Calm and Study On. This event was specifically designed to help new students, freshmen, sophomores in college, learn about note taking skills, test taking strategies, and using technology to help with both of those areas. So I'm going to be talking about some note-taking strategies that you can use within OneNote, and I'm going to walk through my presentation with you, and so you can pause and check out OneNote as you go. Please note that OneNote is a free download, so you can download it across any device and you can follow along with me as we go. So let's get started. Let's talk about what is OneNote. So if you are a child of the 80s or 90s, you might remember old school Trapper Keepers. And I used to have a Trapper Keeper with a unicorn and a rainbow on it, but it takes this idea of Trapper Keepers, all that content, the dividers and all the loose leaf paper in there, and it turns it into a digital product, which is our OneNote. You can add lots of different sections to your OneNote. You can add different pages to your OneNote. So just like you would have in your Trapper Keeper binder, you'd have all those sections and dividers maybe for each class or each period that you have. You can go in and you can put in different loose leaf papers to keep your notes and your documents. Also, all of those handouts that you get during class. So, what I love about OneNote is that digital record of all the content that you're getting. It's your one-stop shop for all of your notes. You can use OneNote to document in text, you can draw, you can even record within OneNote, and we'll talk about some of those features coming up here. But first things first, we want to make sure that we have our OneNote notebook organized. So once we create a new notebook, you can add in sections. These are these lovely tabs up across here. You can see what we're going to get into in a little bit. And you would just click this little section button and you can add in your new section. So maybe this is a class that I'm taking. And there we go. I have a section just for that class. I can also add in pages. Maybe I want these pages to be notes divided by dates. So maybe here I have one note here on the 18th, and I can make new notes here for the 19th, and so on. And then I can keep a record of my notes. So you want to make sure you add in sections and pages. Once you have your notebook organized the way you'd like it to, you can rock and roll and start getting some content into there. What I love about OneNote is the color coding. I am a huge fan of color coding and highlighting and annotating and all that stuff, and OneNote allows me to do just that. You can also add in images and videos and drawings and links just like this one. So if a teacher or professor says, hey, make sure you check out this link, you can embed it right into your OneNote file without having lots of different things to go to or checking a bookmarks pane. You can just add it right into there. So you can also drag and drop files too if you'd like. Another great thing about OneNote is it's not like a Word doc where it's a linear document. I'm adding text and it's just going in like this, but I can be adding things and moving things all around my page so it makes sense. And if I click on here for classroom examples, here is a great example that I pulled from Copyright Free Images where it shows different examples of that non-linear note taking with different types of pages. So let's walk through our OneNote notebook, and we're going to start with the home tab and we're going to walk our way through. So honestly, on the home tab from styles to the left, it looks very much like a Word doc, right? And you're like, okay, Dr. Fessich, what is the difference here? Well, one of my favorite things within OneNote is the tags section. Now, if you are a to-do list person and you like to check things off and cross it off, you can do that by adding in a to-do tag. And that is a lot of fun. So I can go in and see I just add a little to-do tag and look, it checks it off. Yay. And once I talk about that, I will check that off. If you're in a class and a teacher or professor says, hey, this is really important, you're going to want to need to know this for life or a test or whatever it might be, you're going to want to tag it as important. And look, there's my little star. So whenever I go to study, I can see all the important stuff I tagged. If as you're reading content and diving into your readings for class and you come up with a question like, I'm not really understanding this piece, or maybe the professor or teacher can explain it a little bit better, I can put in my question tag. And here we go. I'm just keep building out those tags, and I can be marking all the information. I can be highlighting here with different highlighter pieces. If I have a project I want to work on with colleagues and peers, I can start marking things for different projects. Let's see here. I love this part here with the to do priority 1 and 2. It reminds me of Panera Bread pick two method. If I have a big to do list and I have a whole bunch of stuff on that with lots of to do check marks that I can check off, I want to make sure I prioritize that. So I pick two things that I want to prioritize that day, and I can go in and I can do my priority check 1 and check 2. So those are tags. What's also really cool about tags is I can just click right here for a to do tag and it'll just mark whatever I have highlighted there. But I love the finding tags. Here it's going to show everything I marked as important. Now notice I only put one thing as important, and I can search lots of different notebooks. So if I do all notebooks, here's all the stuff that I have marked with this tag, and it can go ahead and it can create a summary page of everything that I marked. So if I'm using this tool to mark everything as important for my to go back and study later, and I click on the tag name, and it's going to show me all the stuff that I have marked under each of these tags. As you can see, I have lots of things, so I'm going to go back to just this notebook. So if I have things marked as important and maybe it has 5 or 6 things here, I can create a summary page. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to create a brand new summary page where it just shows my important things and my questions. And now I can go into class and I can rehearse and review what I have under marked as important. And I can also remember what questions I had to ask my teacher. But this makes for a fantastic study guide. So if you've been marking things off as important throughout the semester, throughout the 9 weeks, you can go in and create a summary page, and it'll take all the stuff that you marked as important, make a brand new page of it, and have a beautiful study guide for you to check out. So that is one of my another favorite part of tags. Another really cool thing that you might want to check out, let me keep going up here to my other page, how can we use it for classes, is that you can email a page. So if I have, as a teacher, if I have a student who's absent, I can email the page right to them. And if I click on that, it's going to open up my Outlook and I can send it right to them. But I can also share it too, just by going to File, Share, and I can share that notebook and I can share that page. So that's really cool. So I can collaborate and have these notes available to my students anytime, anywhere for just-in-time or on-demand learning. What I also love about OneNote is the insert option. You can do lots of different inserts. Now, if you have if a professor or teacher gives you their presentation ahead of time or after class, you can attach the file right to your notes, which makes it super easy for studying. But you can also do the file printout, so it'll actually take my slides and turn them into images that I can annotate, I can add on to, I can put my notes right beside it, similar to this here. So you want to try the file printout. Give it a try with a PowerPoint or a PDF, and you can pop it right into your notes. Because if you're like me, maybe you get like a paper copy. I lose stuff like crazy if it's given to me, you know, paper copy. But if I have it digitally, I always have a backup. So that's really cool. You can do screen clippings. You can add in pictures and online pictures, online videos from YouTube. You can throw in links just like I had in the previous example where I can just click right on that link. One of my other favorite features is the record audio. So I can record my audio as I go here, and I can have the recording mesh up with my notes. So as I'm writing my notes, I have the recording going and it's recording the audio from that class. My other favorite part of the insert tab is page templates. So if I click on page templates and click page templates again, it's going to show me lots of different note-taking templates. One of my favorites is this one, the detailed lecture notes. I can go in and I can mark as I'm taking notes, I can put them in here. I can create a summary of the main points from the lecture. I can pull up what are the three important takeaways I had from that class, and I can put them here in important points. I can talk about homework. What do I have to do for that day? And then I can turn it into a to-do tag. So now I'm really organized and ready to go with my content for my class. And I think that is really important to have. There's lots of different templates that you can create for note taking. Here's another example: study questions and summary. Here's announcements and homework. So it's all laid out differently. So you do you and find something that works for you. I love the way that the page templates have organization embedded within their design. So it really helps you think through that. Let's see, what else do I have to share with all of you? Ah, the drawing tab. And this is so much fun. I love the drawing tab. You can draw with touch or you can draw with your mouse for note taking. This is great for if you're creating a mind map or creating a graphic organizer of information. Or if you're really into sketch notes, this is another great way to create with drawing. So you can go and you can change the colors, whatever floats your boat. I'm a big fan of purple. So I'm going to go in here and draw. And you can also write out your notes if you have that type of device, you can do that. And I'm going to highlight this. Hopefully it works. Ink to text. There we go. What I love, and I showed that really quickly, but if I'm writing out my notes, print with the print, I can highlight it and it'll change it to type text. So that is a lot of fun. I can also do ink to math. If I'm writing out mathematical expressions and symbols, it'll ink it right to a math looking text. So that is really cool. So if you're doing sketch notes or writing out your notes, you can do that right within OneNote, and you can change it back into type text just by highlighting that. Is one of my favorite features of OneNote. And the reason that I love this feature is because it creates your notes to be accessible for all. So I have a little link here on this section with the OneNote learning tools. You can watch a nice video about it, but if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll have this add-in to OneNote. It's a free add-in, so you just click download. And what it does text to speech, speech to text. So I'm going to click on this section here. I'm going to click on immersive reader, and it's going to pop up here. And look, now my notes are created in different font. There's more spacing between those words. I can have it read aloud. I'm not going to click on that. Just, you can have the text to speech. You can change the voice settings. You can also change your preferences, so you can increase the font size or decrease the font size. I can increase or decrease spacing on my notes. You can change up the different fonts. And you can change up the contrast. So sometimes our friends like different contrast. You can pop that in there, light on dark text or with light text. The grammar options for some of our students with dyslexia, breaking it down into syllables really helps so I can see the separation between the words. And then the line focus. So how many of you guys use like a note card to read through as you go line by line, or you have like that highlighting strip? This takes all that out of the equation and I can just focus in on one line. Now, if you notice, the screen went dark, focus in on one line. I can do 3 or 5 too. Let's just do one, and then I can read through, and I'm going to pause here.
Note taking made easy. Digital notebook.
If you notice, the screen went a little gray. It highlighted the words as I went. I can also turn on the picture dictionary. Now, Microsoft partnered with Boardmaker and they have a little picture dictionary here, so I can see what words look like in picture form, and I can also hear them said read aloud.
Notebook.
There we go. Isn't that fun? So that was learning tools, and you can get to that by going to onenote.com/learning tools, scroll all the way to the bottom, click download added, and you can do lots of those different features there. Now, for your next research project, if you're working with a group or you have a research project coming up, I recommend Web Clipper from Chrome. What it does is a little extension that you can add on, and I'll pull it up here. Just give me a moment to pop that open. And you can see it right up there to the right-hand side. And I'm going to go to my favorite website, Edutopia. And let's click on topics. Teacher development sounds lovely. supporting new teachers in a new building. That sounds like a great resource. So if I want to use this with my students, thank you, Edutopia, I can click on Clip to OneNote. And it's going to say, all right, let me see what we got. Oh, so once I log in to my OneNote, it'll say, well, what do you want to clip? I can clip the whole page. I can clip just a portion of it, but I'm not going to do that. I can clip it like an article, so it's going to take all that information and create an article for me, or I can do a bookmark. And it's going to say, well, where do you want to save it? And then I choose where I would like to save it in my OneNote notebook, and it'll save it right to there. So that is a great way as you're collecting research for your next project to keep it all in one spot. So that's the Clipper for OneNote, Clip to OneNote. So that's really fun. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about any bonuses for y'all. Microsoft Edge. Oh my gosh, my friends, I love Microsoft Edge. And let me show you that one. So if I go to Microsoft Edge, I'm going to go back to my good old Edutopia. Notice I have the Web Clipper here too, so you can have Web Clipper for Microsoft Edge. We're going to go back to that same resource. And with Microsoft Edge, remember those immersive reader tools I shared with the text to speech, speech to text, the highlighting, and those types of things? They have it right within Microsoft Edge, which is so powerful. So if I click on Reading View, there's all of my options that are set for Microsoft Edge for my learning tools. I have my text options. I can change the contrast. I can do the read aloud.
Supporting the new teachers in the building.
I'm going to pause that. I can also have my learning tool set up. So here I can do my word spacing on or off. I have my grammar tool so I can still break up those words into different syllables. I can highlight different parts of speech. And I have my reading preferences so I can even do my line focus. So that is super powerful. And then I can print it out too if I would like. Now, this is an amazing resource if you have your students doing a lot of reading online. Try it in Edge and try the reading view. It's embedded within each browser. You can check it out there. All right, friends, that was Microsoft Edge. That's one bonus. The other bonus, Office Lens. And I can't demo this because I can't put my phone into my computer and show you the screen. But with Office Lens, you can take pictures of whiteboards, chalkboards, documents, handouts, pictures, business cards, lots of different things, and you can save it right into your OneNote. It'll also save it as a Word doc, a JPEG, a PDF, lots of different options for you. But what I love about this is if you get a handout in class and say it's guided notes, you take a picture of it using Office Lens and convert it to a Word doc. You can type all your notes right within there. Super easy. You can also save it to your OneNote notebooks. You have the handout with the notes that you took with the presentation, so everything's all lined up and ready to go. So I put a little video in here that'll show you how to do it. And if you're like me, maybe you'll lose stuff. I love to have just a digital copy too, just in case. Well, friends, I hope that this presentation helped you figure out some different note-taking strategies that you can use within OneNote, what it is, some examples, a little bit about learning tools, how you can use Web Clipper, and a few bonuses for you. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, please send them my way. I'll be happy to help you out, and have an awesome day. Bye.